Netflix. I'm gonna go into a whole Netflix thing real fast. So I just got through watching The Politician on Netflix, and I'm not gonna do a review because it's already been done. I want to do my ending explained kind of a thing with that show, The Politician. Now let me see if I can cue something up right here. So on The Politician, all right, you got your cast. Okay. So you have a Peyton Hobart, adopted boy to a rich family. Mother Gwyneth Paltrow. He's got a jerk of a dad who seems to love his twin boys more than he does, but he really loves his wife. And I'll do everything for our son, our adopted son, as long as she stays in line. Pretty much, he's very ambitious. He has his whole life planned out. You know the whole thing, right? If you've seen it, right? You've seen it. If you haven't, I wouldn't keep listening because I'm about to spoil the whole thing. So this kid figures that if he becomes the class president of his school, he go to Harvard, he'd be on the path to becoming the president of the United States. He has an ambitious girlfriend. He's also got a great best friend played by David Corin Sweat. Dude looks like Superman, and he called that out in the show. But he's got they're politicians. I'm like, why am I watching a TV show about high school politicians? What does this have to do with real politics? This is high school crap. It was funny. It was great, the whole thing. But I was like, you know what? I don't see this being anything more than just a one season thing. And then it got to the final two episodes where after the ish hit the fan, the Infinity character who said she had cancer. It turns out it was a Munchausen syndrome situation where Jessica Lange's character playing her grandmother was lying about all that just to keep her sick, and they can just get free stuff. And her being the running mate, it's always pretty much you got political situations, presidential kind of stuff at a high school level, but to these very ambitious young people who in the future want to be political animals. So scandals, your political opponent also has her scandals. You have your scandals. If it all comes out, it'll ruin everything. Your best friend kills himself, and personal dilemmas and all that stuff out of the way. So we've seen all that. But when it got to the last two episodes, and what felt like the series finale, when all the dirt came out and his political dreams and aspirations were crushed, we're leaping 5 years in the future. The dude's just playing piano at a bar. He's an alcoholic. All of his friends, the ones who were with him, the ones who betrayed him, some of them the ones that tried to kill him, things like that, they're all gone their separate ways. But some of them are kind of reintroducing themselves to his life, and that didn't make that much sense to me. Okay, I can see maybe you trying to rekindle with your ex. I could see you trying to rekindle with this one person who would have been your chief of staff, your best friend here, played by Lucy Astrid, played by Lucy Boynton. I could even or your other friend. That was the political opponent. Your chief of staff, your best friend, Lauren, played by Lauren Diffuse, and Theo Germain. But your enemies and all these people coming back into your life, it just didn't make sense. I'm like, no way you would forgive. After what you saw in the first 6 episodes, no way I would forgive these people, right? And I said, unless there's a plan. And what happened at the end was you had your series finale pretty much on the 6th episode. There were 8 episodes, I believe, or whatever, 10 maybe, I don't know. But the final 2 episodes was really a preview, an hour and a half preview of what this show really is going to be. So we're leaping 5 years, and then we're introduced to Judith Light. She's in the show now. She's a senator, one of those established Democrat senators who doesn't have to worry about her district because she's gonna win re-election every year, every political cycle. Her best friend, played by Bette Midler, her chief of staff or whatever, right? Her husband, Command himself from Scandal, Joe Morton, plays Marcus. But even they have their own scandals. So while the band is kind of getting back together after their scandal from the high school level, now they're moving on to college and tragically going all their separate ways, but kind of reconnecting. Then you have Lauren, her character, I forgot her name, and she still has political aspirations. She joins the Dee Dee Standish campaign, played by Judy Light, but it's not what she thinks it is. you're not going to change the world here. We've already got it all set. We're going to win re-election. You don't need your dreams and your aspirations. You're not going to, there's no room for growth. And I'm sitting there watching this, and I'm like, that's not going to fly with that type of a character. If everything that you saw from the beginning to the end of those first 6 episodes, that character played by Laura Dreyfus, no, none of these characters in the political realm would accept that. And then she went for it. She tried to show what she was worth, but they pushed her back down. And I called it before I saw it. Like, that's how they're going to lead into a season 2 or season 3. They're going to wake that political animal up in Peyton again, even though he's been destroyed, crushed. Even though it was a high school level, but it was still a scandal nonetheless. It derailed everything he wanted to do. No Harvard, no this, no that. You're in New York now. Hell, screw it. Run for Senate. You may be young. You may be new to this, but you got it. And that's what his friends, his enemies, everybody at that high school level, they all had to go through their drama in high school to put it away, shake it off, and reconnect. Because each and every one of those cast members, from Rainey Jones, not Jessica Lange, to Zoe Deutch, even though she faked cancer, Astrid, Gwyneth Paltrow being a supportive mom, Laura's character, each and every one of these people, the ghost, David, his best friend playing the ghost, right? Each and every one of these people, separate, they're trash. They know they're not good people, and they admit that at least. But together, I was like, he's going to run for Senate. Because it started with the one girl trying to work in the senator's campaign, and they not letting her have any room for growth. I'm like, that's not going to fly. They know what they're worth. They're going to make something happen. Primary here. It's going to, now in season 2, it's going to be about them taking down a political giant in the Judith Light character, Dee Dee Standish. How do you do that? Well, let's bring back your high school rival, the Astrid character. After she's made her way out in the world and grown and whatnot, she's got a little dirt. She finds out Judy Light and her husband Marcus, Dee Dee Standish and her husband Marcus have a little secret that can derail any opportunity of her becoming a vice president, which she's been optioned to be. She's in what's known as a throuple polygamy relationship. Her and her husband have a boyfriend, or what they consider another husband or whatever, right? And they are all sleeping together and all together. It's about to rain, man. It's crazy. The drama, man. It's what's going on. It's crazy. And I'm like, that's it. That's their way in. So you kind of had to go through everything, the emotions and the tragic story of how these kids began in high school to get some perspective of who they are and what they hope to be. Now the real meat of this story begins in the next season. This is like that reminds me of that show called Political Animals that only had like 1 season. It's something like that. This is going to be a very, very popular show. At least 3 seasons. You had the high school situation. Now he's going to run for Senate, and they're going to probably leap forward again. And I want to see this man become president. He's on his path. This is the path. You have I think 3 seasons is enough. You have 3 acts, your beginning, middle, and end. That's all you need with this. And I think that's what they should do. But maybe 5. I don't know. If he uses his whole contract up, I hope he uses it all for this. But if not, I can see him creating 2 other shows, maybe 1 other show, 2 seasons. And but at least 3. I would be surprised if that's not the minimum. You can wrap this guy's story up at the end of a 3rd season, and where he becomes president, or maybe he gets assassinated. I don't know, because he is a dick. But let me know what you guys thought, and that's how I explained that's how I saw the ending of this series, of this season 1. It was like a foundation. The first 6 episodes, so like a few episodes, was just a filler of background, and especially that last episode was a hour-long preview of what's to come. And I thought that was great. Instead of just putting in the last 10 minutes and then to be continuing it. No, they put a whole hour. We pretty much saw season 2, the beginning of I would say that the last episode of season 1 was the first episode of season 2, if you think about it, because of the fact that it leaped in time. But let me know what you guys think. Put it in the box below, and we're going to talk about it. So until next time, peace.